I'm in a different one. Um,
Mm.
Hopefully it's not too loud. My washer is now doing its loud
No.
cycle. Okay.
No, you sound a little bit well, it sound like you're talking through the water of the
Oh, the
bucket of
washing
the
machine?
rinse. Yeah, but there that might just be my computer also.
That, oh, okay. Let's see.
That's like,
I don't like the angle of this. I need it like brought up. I don't know how to tell it to change the angle.
yeah. There we go. That looks a bit better, doesn't
Oh,
it?
that looks nice.
Yeah, I think we
Let's
can save that one. Yeah. How can we do? How can I
keep it in.
be lower?
And
There we go. I can do it like that, but then I'm like really small in the. Need to
see.
do that, don't I? Really? And I could. There we go. See, I could do that. I can move the camera sideways so I
Oh,
sit more like that. Look at that.
yeah, yeah. Okay, all right, here we go. I'm trying out a summer evening in an English garden. Here's my summer
Okay.
evening in
Yeah.
an English
hmm
garden.
And then I have. That looks more like a painting, doesn't it? That looks horrible.
Okay, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So we don't. Let's go with this one
Yeah.
today. That looks a bit
Let's
more realistic.
Yeah, that looks good. I don't like my colors with the garden, like the colors that I'm wearing today. I need something else.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Why are you
Like,
sounding a little bit robotic?
I
Do we
don't
have poor
know.
connection?
Do we?
Yeah. I don't know.
Uh, I'm plugged in all the way.
Yeah. I think it's more of a and it might be because you're asking the AI to
Yeah, I was
generate
like, it
something.
might
It's
be
like,
because yeah, I'm giving it too much to do. All
Mhm.
right, fine. I'll keep this. This is a summer morning in London. There. Yeah,
Okay. So you've
yep, I
also
got
got,
the Tower Bridge that's Big Ben mixed
yeah.
together. That's
hmm
hilarious. That's just like what they do. And it's like missing all the other parts of the bridge that go up top. It's just
Yeah.
part of
Yeah. And Tower Bridge doesn't have a clock tower on it. So it's
it. Does
taken
not
Big
have a
Ben
clock
and put it
tower.
up.
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Silly AI. So
hmm
anyway, uh, how are you doing? Heard anything royal lately?
What did I hear royal? Well, Megan's online shop seems like it's coming to an end.
Mm.
So I did hear news about
Uh-oh.
that because they can't really get anybody to sponsor and endorse any products, and she's got
Yeah.
so much stock that nobody's buying it.
Oh gosh. That sucks.
hmm Well, when you
Yeah.
want to sell wickless candles, it's kind of
Yeah.
like trying to sell an ice cube tray to the Eskimos without water,
Right, right.
with holes in it.
Well, yeah. Well, and it's yeah, it's just like all of it was poorly timed slash planned or whatever. So, as far as like um when the show came out, the product wasn't there to buy while you're watching the show. So she didn't have enough stuff to sell when people were ready to buy it. And now that
Mhm.
people are over it, now she has inventory. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it
So,
really for somebody that has a team of marketing and all the rest of it, and I did hear it's like, well, while there's something bad being said here, let's distract them with something new over here, which
yeah.
seems to be should we say, the American way of doing broadcasting these days.
Uh-huh.
Mind you, I think it's a very good strategy. While we're talking
Sure.
about documents and files coming to release, let's talk about a war over the other side of the
Right.
world.
Sure, sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We're good at
While we
that.
talk about our prime minister, let's distract him with why the price of fuel is going through the
Oh,
roof and
right, right.
why there's a heat wave in London. You know, so yeah, it's a trait that's been picked up by many. Let's put it that way.
Right, right. That's
So I
funny.
heard that.
Yeah. So I was gonna say a thing that's like a US British thing.
Mhm.
So Eddie and I watched a movie that came out on Netflix. It's called Office Romance. Um,
Yes, I saw this.
okay, did you watch the movie or you just saw the preview?
Yes. No, no, I've seen it.
Oh,
Are
okay.
we allowed to? Are we allowed to say
That's
what is commonly said in Britain or not?
Yeah, I know. That's what I say. Yeah. So spoiler alert. Yeah. We really liked that the trailer made you think that it was gonna be like surrounding that whole incident. And it's like, no, that's just kind of like a blip in the whole story.
Hmm.
We didn't know Jennifer Lopez was gonna be in it until the movie started. We're like, what?
All
Oh,
right.
this is her. Okay. We only knew it was the one guy that Eddie knows from Ted Lasso. So
Hmm.
the British guy. Um,
Yeah.
but we about died when, again, spoiler alert, when he's at her house and he asks for the restroom. She's like, "Yeah, it's down the hall on your right." And then she's like, "Oh no, 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 on your on your left." And then goes, and I go, "Oh, she's an Anglophile." I go, "She's one of us."
Yes. Yes, I know. I know.
I was like,
I was
"That's
going to
so."
mention that last week.
Yeah, yeah. It's like that's such a funny like reveal and just a little thing to throw in there. That's like, yeah, she's
Mhm.
secretly obsessed with British people.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, dang, she can give Amy a run for her money.
I know. Yeah, I was like, "What? I don't yeah, I want all this stuff." But
Yeah.
she yeah, but I thought it was also funny though because how much they talk like how he's like, it's my private life versus my personal life. Like his assistant that always wants to talk to him about everything. He's like, "No, when I
Yeah.
say like all right, is all everything all right or whatever, right?" He's like
It
just
doesn't mean I
trying to
really, I
say
don't
good
really
morning.
care.
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
actually want to hear. Yeah, yeah. And he's like, I'm not going to tell you anything about my night. I'm private. It's my private life.
Yes.
And he's like, yeah, he just acts like that we're too American. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, tell me everything about your life while we're at
Yeah.
work.
Now we're here.
Hmm.
That's why we're here.
Hmm.
How do you expect me to like you if you don't tell me what you did last night and with whom and
Right.
when for how long?
That's great.
And was the sun out by any chance?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Having the sun out makes a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. I loved it. I thought it was so funny. And like, yeah, how he's like, last week when you told me like your IBS was acting up or whatever, he's like, I didn't need to
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
She's all
It's all
upset.
very well that you told me that you're having a little bit of a problem down there, but
Right,
I
right,
didn't need to know specifically where down there.
right, right. It's so funny. Yeah, and I really liked the friend that was pregnant for most of the movie. That actress, she was in a show I
Yes.
used to watch called Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, and she was really
Hmm.
fun in that. But I thought her character was very fun, constantly
Yeah.
watching their interactions. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
This, no,
yeah,
that's not right. Yeah, what's going on there? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was
It was a
fun,
good
but
movie. I actually enjoyed it too.
yeah, I liked it better than I thought I would. Well, because again, we didn't know it was gonna be like I know it's called Office Romance, but we didn't think it was gonna be like a rom-com. We really didn't know what it was. And then I was like, oh, it's a Jennifer Lopez. Like, all right, we'll see. But
Yeah.
it was great. Yeah. And we looked up ages because after a while I was like, wait a second, how old is she now? I was like, and how old is this guy? Because I thought he might be
Hmm.
in his 30s. And so I think Eddie looked her up. She's like 55, 56. I feel like she's
I would
on,
say in 50s, yeah.
yeah, yeah. But oh yeah, I just couldn't remember if she's like 56, if she's on the other side of 55 or the lower side. But,
Oh,
but
the pre like has she exceeded her speed limit?
yeah, 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 yeah. And but yes, he's like 45 or something. So he's older than Eddie and I are. So we were like, oh, well, we just
Yeah.
can't tell. So I think there's only like 11 years difference between the two actors, but
Okay.
yeah. But I thought it would be interesting because I feel like in so many movies, it's always the
Yeah.
male actor that's way older than the female actor. So I was like,
Mm.
oh, they flipped it for once.
But then in movies, you tend not to get to know their ages. So, I
Right,
think they played it in a way that you would assume they're in the same age
right.
gap
They were
as such
close
of
enough.
3 or 4 years. Yeah.
Right,
And I guess
right.
that with, to be fair, she doesn't look her age. She can play somebody
Yeah,
at 45 or
right,
35 probably.
right,
Um, so yeah, she's that lucky to do that.
right, right.
Where I was going to ask you the same question now, but I don't know if I
Yeah.
can because we're not private. Because are we going too private? It was the
Oh, what? Asking what my age is?
no, the
Oh,
gap
no.
between you and Eddie.
Oh, okay. No, it's under a year. So he turned
Oh,
40
okay.
last September, and then I
Hmm.
just turned 40 in May. So
Oh, okay.
we're the same year in school though, like the same graduating class.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Not that we went to school
Oh,
together, but
no, but I was
same.
going to say, so if there is a school reunion, who
Yeah.
gets to go? To whom's? Well,
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess it depends if they're on
might
the
be a
same
different.
weekend.
Right, right. I doubt they'd be at the same weekend, but also I've not been to
Yeah.
any of mine yet, because I've never
Hmm.
been in town, slash they've not been like a really big, a greatly organized thing. So
Yeah.
yeah. Have you had any that
Well,
are
I've
good?
no, never been to any. When I left school, I lost contact with everybody almost. See, when I lived in England, my school, when I first went to school, when we moved back to the where we have senior school, I literally lived. I was here in this apartment block. There's the road in front of me. Then there's a field in front of that. That field was our playing field for sports. That's how
Oh,
close
okay.
to the school I lived. So
Yeah.
during the weekend, it was very quiet. No kids used to play around outside the schools. I don't know why. They
Yeah.
always hang around the school
That's
area.
funny.
But every morning and afternoon, it was hell because all the kids were going to and from school.
Right.
And then at the age of 13, we then moved to the opposite side of town.
Oh, okay.
So as soon as school was out, I was getting on the bus going to the town centre, and everybody's
Right.
staying in the local area. So I never really had friends out of school.
Okay. I see.
Uh,
Well, is that an American thing though? The whole high school reunion thing? Like, do
More
Brits
so,
do that?
yes. Yeah, they
Okay.
do, evidently,
Yeah.
because I bumped into a guy who used to go to school. I was going to play Skittles. Remember the game of
Yeah,
Skittles?
Skittles. Yeah.
Okay. So one of the leagues I was in was playing, I think it was a front pin competition that I was in. And this guy went, "Oh, Trevor." I went, "Yeah." He said, "Remember we were at school together?" I went, "Oh, yes." Vaguely kind of
Sure.
remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he says, "Didn't see you at the school reunion." I went, "No. When was that?" "Oh, about 5 years ago." I said, "I didn't even know there was one." "Oh,
Yeah.
didn't nobody contact you?" I said, "Why would
No.
they?"
Right.
"Well, nobody knew your address." I said, "Well, if you think about it, when at the age of 13, those last years,
Yeah.
for senior years, I lived on the other side of town, so probably nobody would come to play or visit
Right.
or anything,
Right.
because it required everybody getting on a bus at that
Right.
time to go
Right.
to town.
I see. Yeah,
And
yeah,
because I
yeah.
lived in town centre, then slightly out, they had to walk 15 minutes out the town centre on the
Oh
other side
gosh. Yeah,
to,
yeah.
to get to my house. So parents probably would never say to their little kid, like, "Oh, Amy, you want to go and play with Trevor today?" "Yeah, but
Right.
I need bus fare to go and bus fare to get back." "Why, where are you
Right,
going?"
right,
"Going
right.
into town." "You're not going into town alone, no,
Yeah,
even if
yeah,
it is
yeah.
to go and play with your best friend.
Right, right.
Um, Not back in those days, even
Right.
though if I live 2 blocks away from you and I'm walking, yeah, you're still in
Right.
the neighborhood. Yeah,
Sure.
for crying out loud,
But
get out of
yeah,
the
but
house and
like
go.
yeah, crossing through town to
Not
the
going to
other
happen.
side. Yeah,
Mm,
that makes sense. Well, also though, it's like if you guys are, because I know you guys do I'll say the weird thing, whatever, the different thing that
yeah.
Americans do, where you have to choose at whatever year if you're like doing more
Mhm.
school or you're doing more technical school or whatever, right?
Yes.
So
Hmm.
then it's like, well, so not everybody's making it to when they're 18 in school graduating together anyway. Like that's what
Hmm.
the American thing is like we're all in it and we all graduate at the same time and like
Yes.
leave the same way. So
Well,
yeah.
we all graduate, I guess, at the same time. So when we're 13, that's the
Hmm.
time when everything really changes. It's like, what do you
Right.
want to be when you grow up? As if you really know. And you
Right.
say,
At
oh, I want to
13.
be. And you then choose the subjects that you either like or the ones that are going to help you to get to the career that you think you want to be in.
Right. Okay.
And then that takes you then from what, 14 to 15 and 15 to 16 for your last 2 years.
Okay.
Or last, if you've got a sixth form, then you do the 17, 16, 17 as well,
Okay.
which is like the first year of college.
Okay. So are you out?
That year
So
could be done.
so you're out of lower
School.
education by age 8, like before age 18? Nobody's 18
Yeah.
when they're still in
Oh,
school.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause
So
that's like
you get
us.
your,
We're like 18, 17/18, depending on when your birthday
yeah,
is.
you have another year extra to go.
Right.
But we qualify to go out for general education. This is before
Yeah.
you go to college for a specific, oh, I want to be
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
carpenter or I want to be a
Right.
lawyer or whatever it is. And then usually college is the ones that gives you your advanced levels to go
Right.
into
Right.
university. That's what that is.
Gotcha.
But from school, you get your general certificate of education.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm proficient in math, English, science, art, whatever.
Right.
And usually with those, because if you get a good enough grade one or an ordinary level equivalent, um, employers then look at it and say, "Oh yes, you're quite academic. Good. Yes, we'll take you on because you're academic and you can be an office assistant or
Right.
whatever you want to be. And if you want to be a mechanic, maybe you can get into be a garage and be a trainee apprentice or something."
Right.
Um, but a lot of kids will leave at the age of 16
Mm-hmm.
and now start finding work. Those who want to
Oh,
qualify as something else will now go to college or
right.
college university, or they go to sixth form. Because sixth
Right.
form is you've got your general levels of education, then
Uh-huh.
you have your O levels, which is slightly higher, or you can
Okay.
have an advanced level. Your A levels, the advanced levels, is where
Yeah.
you get in an extra year of, let's say, English or math or a
Right.
science, which
Mm-hmm.
is the base entry to get into university to study to be a lawyer or a doctor
Okay.
or a computer
Right.
mechanic, whatever you want to be. Um, and then
So
that's your 2 to 3 years to take a bachelor's degree
right.
or
So
whatever
which
degree it is.
so in theory, which group of kids at what point constitutes the class as far as a reunion? Like everybody who was together when they were 16, like before some of
Everybody
them
who
left
left at
school?
16. Yes,
Okay.
because 16 is the fifth year, basically is the last
Yeah.
year for most schools. Some schools, some, not all of them,
Mm-hmm.
a handful, may have an extra 6 year, which
Right.
bridges that 1 or 2 year gap to go to college. You can do
Right.
your extra year at school and then get straight into university. It's kind of a little bit of a
Okay.
fast track type thing.
Right. So if you're doing your
Um,
A levels
mhm,
in what is like high school,
yeah.
so is that like basically because here it's like we get out of, I mean, whatever. Now you can take certain courses in high school that like give you college credit or whatever. Um, but in general, I feel like it's not set up to be that way. So like when you get to college, it's like you have your core classes that you have to take, like math
Mm.
125 and English 101 and whatever, right? Like you have to do
What's
a
math
whole year,
25?
huh?
What's the
Like
numbers got relevant for math? 125 and
oh, I
101.
don't know. They're like course levels. I don't know what I mean.
Oh,
There's
okay.
like in general, we'd say like it'd be like 101 for the first class, 201 for the next class, 30. I don't know. It's just like I
Oh,
feel like the
okay.
numbers only make a little bit of sense. But but
Okay.
I feel like I remember math being 125 for whatever reason. Maybe there were other 100 level math classes. I don't know. Um,
Maybe it was like level one, 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, and then level two.
right, right.
Because
So,
it's mathematics, it had to be percentages or
it had
or
to be something,
decimals.
yeah, yeah. But so, yeah, so I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh, well, if you get that done before you start paying college prices for
Hmm.
those classes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially
Yes.
if you're going to like a public school and you're not paying
Mhm.
for those classes.
well, public school. Oh yeah, public schools. Yeah, not everything. No,
Oh,
public
sorry.
school.
Yeah, we're opposite, right?
Um,
Your public you
yes,
pay for, correct?
correct.
And our public we don't pay for, but we pay for private. What do you call
Yeah.
the not public? What's your version of that?
Well, hang on. Let me think about this. Now I got to think. What is it if it's not public school? What is it?
City school?
No, because private school is what you pay for generally because it's private.
Right. That's what we pay for. We pay private. But I thought you guys like
Yeah.
called public the opposite of what we
But
did.
there is a, and I'm trying to think what it is. There is a public school which you pay for, and I
Okay.
think and then there's a private school. Then there might be public schools that are free.
Okay. So I just Googled it. So AI
Thank you.
overview. Yeah, in England, a public school is not a government funded institution like it is in the US. Instead, the term
Yeah.
refers to an exclusive historic fee paying private school.
Hmm.
So, yeah, often more prestigious, whatever. So, let's see. And then private independent schools, general terms for any school that charges tuition. Okay. But state schools are what are government funded and free to attend. So
Yeah. So
state schools.
when so the difference is basically is either a public school is, let's say, let's make somebody up who's rich. Uh,
Right.
Elon
Like
Musk.
is
Uh,
yeah. I
so
was gonna
he's
say is
decided.
Eton a public school? Because that's like
Yes,
historic, right?
yes, and it will be. So let's say somebody like Elon Musk says, you know what,
Yeah.
I'm going to leave X amount of millions to set up this school so people can be educated.
Right.
So that would be a public school. Now, it's obviously then starts earning money from the donations and other people who are interested in making this institution a well-known branded school
Right.
with good superior qualifications or candidates coming out with good qualifications. So that would be funded by public people,
Mm-hmm.
where the government, which is still now, if I was to go to a public school, I
Right.
may have to live right next door to it or have some special criteria to enter it because it's going to be a prestige name.
Right. Right.
I
Okay.
probably would not have to pay to study there, but I probably, and I think this happened also in government, certain levels of qualifications and exams you want to take, you then pay for.
Oh, like you pay for the exams or whatever to get.
You pay for the exams, yes.
Okay.
Then when
Okay.
I went to school, I just went to what you would call state school, which is a public. Oh, it
Right.
is public in the sense being
The
public because it's
American
free,
public.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's financed by the government.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then when you go to private school, that is the one like Eton and Cambridge and all the rest of it,
Right.
because then those are also boarding schools where they actually live in
Right.
the school at the same time.
Right. Right.
They're paid
Okay.
by the rich parents.
Right. Okay. So the private schools are usually more aligned with boarding schools. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yeah.
Private is
You
boarding.
can have
Okay.
day boarders. Sometimes they're just called boarding schools. You can have a
Right.
day
Mm-hmm.
boarder or a full board. Um,
Oh, what's a day
and
boarder?
again, there's somebody who pays to go there because they live locally, so
Oh,
they don't
okay.
have to
Gotcha.
sleep in. Because take Eton.
Yeah.
Well, if you're, I'm trying to think where Eton is compared to
It,
London.
it's in Berkshire.
Yeah, I'm
Berkshire.
trying to get
Yeah.
the town where it is in Eton, how far away from London it is. I think it's
Oh,
about
okay.
50 miles. Let's say 100, it's not even 100 miles, but let's say it's 50
Sure.
miles away. So if I lived one side of London, commuting 50 miles to school every day is a bit impractical.
Right. Yeah.
But so therefore, it's probable that I would become a boarder
Mm-hmm.
and then sleep there Monday through Friday, maybe go at home at
Right.
weekends, or you sleep for the whole term, and at the end of the
Right.
term, then you go home.
Then you go home.
A
Okay.
day boarder is somebody who lives in Eton or
Right.
5 miles radius
Right.
who can
So
actually
close.
be driven there or take public transport to school
Right.
and then attend and then go home every night.
So in like American college terms, you would be called a commuter. You're you don't live on
Okay.
campus, you're a commuter.
You're a commuter. Okay.
Yeah.
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 And
Because
don't
I
talk
was a
about it, you're a
commuter for most
communicator.
of it. Yes, I commuted from my parents' house most of the time to because my
Yeah.
college was in town. And then yeah, and then for like a year-ish, I think I lived I lived near campus, but it wasn't
Mm.
dorms. I was like in an apartment. So anyway.
Oh,
But
okay.
I
No,
wasn't parking in the I wasn't in the commuter parking lots. See, there's special parking lots just for commuters that are
oh, yeah, because you'll
further out.
drive. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it means by commute. It's like, yeah, we're driving to
See, that's
college.
the other difference. It's ironic, isn't it? It's like, at what age can you drive a car in on the road? 16,
15. Well,
15.
15 with your learner's permit usually, and then
Yeah.
by 16
Mhm.
you're on your own. You don't have to have an adult in the
Okay.
car.
Yeah. See, when I think at 16, I'm just trying to remember now because I know the rules change and it's been a long time ago. I don't think you can actually drive a car alone until you're 18.
Oh,
But I think
really?
at 17 and a half, you can get your provisional license
Oh,
in
wow.
England.
Okay.
So then you can start learning. So by the time you get to
Right.
18, because yeah, 18 is like the threshold of everything that's
Right, right.
between you're no longer a child, you're now an adult.
Right, right.
Um, so I think it's at 18 you can then legally drive, you can vote, and you can
Right.
drink and serve for your
Mm-hmm.
country. You do everything at
Right.
18, basically.
Right.
Um, so if you're going to university or college, it's very few would drive.
Right.
But I do recall when I went that some people used to drive, and I'm trying to think maybe why is that? Because maybe some of the courses that were being taken,
Mm-hmm.
they were over 18, so therefore they had a license to drive
Right.
to because going to college and university is no
Right.
longer age restricted. It's
Right.
whoever
Right.
wants to study it now goes to college or
Right.
university.
So that
I,
seems
I
weird to
like anyway,
me.
commuter. In fact, I used to
Right.
cycle mine. Like I used to
Oh,
cycle
yeah?
to school. Yeah, I cycled everywhere. Very rare did I used to take public transport because they
Oh,
never
okay.
get me there in time.
So you were commuting, but you wouldn't be a commuter because you don't need a commuter parking lot or a commuter parking
No.
pass.
Well, I would, for one sense, I need to park my bike somewhere
Sure, but I'm guessing you can do that at bike racks no
in the bike
matter
shed.
who's
Yes.
riding their bikes and from where.
Yeah. You didn't have a designated space, let's put it that way.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but it seems odd to me. So if you're allowed to leave high school at
Yep.
16 for
Hmm.
pursue whatever you're working, you still
Yeah.
can't drive until you're 18, but
No.
you're out of school. Yeah.
They're
What's that?
sneaking
Yes.
out with their parents not knowing, but they said they're going to a Hanson concert.
They did.
They want to go so bad.
Oh my gosh. Oh
This
boy.
one's just like you. And she's like, there's just this little cute little boy.
Oh my God.
Into me too.
Okay. So she found a YouTube video, I guess, where the people
Mm.
are really want to go to a Hanson concert.
Oh,
So she
okay.
goes, it's you.
It's you. You
Yeah.
must know them.
Yeah.
There's only 300 people. You must know them.
Yeah. 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 Oh, well, so real quick, Hanson finally announced their dates for Disney this year, and it's
Yeah.
at the end of August, and it hasn't been that early in so many years. But
Mm.
like, it is gonna be hot. Like August 28th to the 31st. Usually we're there at
Oh,
the end of October, early November, and even then
mm,
it's usually pretty hot, but like it's not summer heat and by that point. So
mm.
anyway,
Yeah.
we'll see how we survive.
That's interesting. So,
but
as you
yes, as
just
far as
mentioned that,
yeah,
let's get the diary sorted out. It's Katya's birthday on the 21st of August, so we decided that we're going to
okay,
travel,
okay.
and we travel, in fact, to get back on the 28th. So, ironically, it looks like there is no
No tea time on the 21st or
on
28th.
28th, on 21st or
Okay.
28th. Yeah,
Okay. And yes,
you better go to Hanson because if I get back in time to be at tea time and you don't go to Hanson, that we're
oh,
gonna
I'll
we're
be
gonna
there.
have
Yeah. No, I'll be there. But next week I can't do tea time because uh
you're playing real tea time.
yeah, no, I'm gonna be
You
working
know.
later than usual.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so because the museum in Winter Park that I do like the tea parties for, they do like a
Yeah.
summer family program where it's just like 2 different days in the summer that you pick. And so next Tuesday
Mm.
morning and Friday morning, I'm taking Piper and Ellie. So then I'm going into work late. So then that means I'm staying later. So
Ah, okay.
anyway, so no tea time next week. Um,
Okay.
yeah. But I think other than that, we might be okay for a minute. Because I'm like, because
Yeah.
then we go to Indiana. So I'm like, wait,
Yeah. Yeah. We'll just get Mumsy on
well,
while you're waiting for you
yeah.
to sort yourself out. Because your
Exactly.
time
That's true.
because your time
Yeah,
zone will
yeah.
be all out of place, won't it? You'll just be having lunch and Mum's ready for
Oh, sure.
tea. Like,
Yes. Yeah, we'll try to get Mumsy on finally. She hasn't
yeah.
been on in probably a year, at least.
Probably about a year, I would have thought now.
Yeah, yeah, because it was
In
probably
fact, it was
maybe it
probably
was
the last
last
time you were
July. Yeah,
yeah,
last summer. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah. But oh, so people leaving school at 16 and then they can't drive yet. It's just not a
No.
big deal because
No.
not everybody drives anyway, or you don't have to have it.
Nobody drives. You can't drive until you're at least 18. And if you think about your first job that you're going to get out of school,
Yeah,
theoretically, you're going to be employed by a local company to some degree.
right.
And yes, can it be a bit of a challenge to get there? Well, see, you can drive mopeds.
Oh, okay.
So you could actually have a moped or
I
a
see.
small motorized
Right.
motorbike, a bicycle, or public transport. See, the thing that you've negated to remember, public transport works very well in
I know.
England,
Even
especially
outside of major cities, like,
yes.
all the
Mhm.
cities have it.
All the cities have it, yes, and they go out to little towns and little villages. It's ironic. Um,
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's really
would it be
funny.
a pain in the butt? Yes, it would, because
Yeah,
if you had to start at 9 o'clock in the morning, you may actually start getting a 7:30 or a bus
right.
to get to the city, and then if it's across the city, another half hour or whatever,
Right.
so you
It
can get
takes so
there
much
at
longer.
8:45. So it will take
Right.
longer. Um, but yeah, and I guess that's the advantage of when you've now got your job, you now start
Right.
saving for your
Right.
driving lessons, and then you
Right.
start saving for your first car, and then
Right.
you realize you're actually now a member of society because you earn and buy
Mhm.
things and you
Yeah,
understand the
yeah.
principles of
Look,
why you go to work.
that sounds smart.
Hmm,
Sounds a
you
little
know.
bit wiser than maybe how we do it. Where
Yeah, that's
most,
one of the things
yeah,
you think of kids. Is like, how do parents in America generally
yeah,
afford to give their young 15, 16-year-old kids a brand new car?
that's what
And
I
in
say.
England, we think of that's like so crazy because even our parents don't buy brand new cars that often.
Right.
But in America, they seem to be just given away freely to all the kids.
Right. And even if you're not getting a brand new car, but you're buying them a car, a used car in any sense, like there's still insurance and whatever else for it.
Yeah.
And like maybe in the old days, you could like even
Mhm.
back in my days, you could say, well, you have to have an after school part-time job, whatever, right, to help pay for something. I don't
Yeah.
think anything part-time like high school type job nowadays would like
No,
be worth anything
no.
towards it. Because car stuff's even
Yeah,
more expensive now. Like the money doesn't go
so
as
true.
far. Yeah, so that's why it's like, well,
You
in
could
England,
probably
I guess
afford
it
the
makes
gasoline.
sense. Yeah, yeah. It's like I guess you're gonna make yeah, start working first, save your money,
Yeah.
learn that
Mhm.
way, use public
Yeah.
transportation because that's an option.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I didn't think about mopeds. I forgot about that. And
Mm.
now that there's like e-bikes, like millions, like it seems like so many
Yes,
people have the
that's
little
true.
electric bikes. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
could zip around on that. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. It's probably got easier when you think about the intercity urban areas.
Mm-hmm.
You could easily get these little e-bikes to get you in and out, and provided
Right,
they
right.
recharge again ready, you can almost take it home and
Right,
almost
right.
use it permanently almost.
Right, right.
Um, I wonder if
So that would work.
people stealing bicycles is still as popular today than it
Right.
was when I used to cycle, because stealing a bicycle
Mm-hmm.
was a challenge. I had mine stolen once, twice, I think, when I used to work,
Really?
which was a pain. Yeah, because I, even though there was no place like inside to park it, there was like a little cut
Yeah.
where we worked. There's got the little the street, and there was like an archway which
Yeah.
led through to behind the building. Literally,
Right.
just like think of a terrace street of housing. You just take one out, and then all of a sudden you've got a little
Right.
parking lot behind.
Yeah.
And it used to have the parking for the directors for their cars,
Mm-hmm.
plus 3 or 4 spaces for the shops on the other side of the road, as
Right.
such, so they can get into the back of their business and they
Mm-hmm.
could park cars there. And there was a fire escape on one of them, so I used to park my bike
Mm-hmm.
under the fire escape and chain it
Yeah.
up there.
Chain it there. Yeah.
Fire escape wasn't going anywhere, and if you had to come down the
Right.
steps, it was underneath you, so I wasn't going to
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It
call.
wasn't in the way.
And our office windows, or my side of the office, used to overlook the same car park. So you look out, and
Yeah.
you would see it there.
Right.
And occasionally come out like, oh, somebody stole the bike.
So they like
You
cut the chain or they cut like your bike
chain,
lock. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Which is the same when you got the racks in the town centre. You know, you go there and you've got
Right.
this,
Yeah.
whatever, you chain it up to that. You come out from the shop and it's like, where's my bike gone? Bloody
Right.
bastard. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
and even from school, even school kids, I think, would steal something. Either they would steal it or take it for fun.
Yeah,
Usually
yeah,
more for
yeah.
fun, pranking.
Right, right.
But yeah, it's always been like somebody seems to have found a bike somewhere, or it's got stolen, or whatever it is.
Right.
But now with e-bikes, I wonder if many people still use a regular bicycle. Do
Right.
they still get stolen as much because these e-bikes
Is
are pretty much everywhere, but you got to
yeah,
pay
yeah,
for it?
yeah.
That's the other problem.
Well, I'm like, I wonder where are people keeping their e-bikes when they get places? They usually bring them inside with them or something, right? It's not like you're locking that
Well,
up
yeah,
outside to steal.
that's true. Yeah, I think
I
now
don't think.
maybe
Yeah.
if I
A
was,
lot of them fold up.
depends on the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the company. Maybe if I was working in a shop, would they have room for me to take my e-bike in and park it somewhere in the back of the where the staff is? Maybe, maybe not.
Right.
If they don't, then I guess you would chance it and lock it up outside, hoping nobody would
Yeah,
pinch
yeah.
it.
Right.
Um, I know at some point we used to have a spare office room on a different floor, so I'd used to park it inside the office
Oh, okay.
lot
Nice.
for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah.
Until it got to the point that oh well, I'm going to cycle, won't I park mine in there? And then we had like 3 or 4 bikes all inside, which is okay in summer, but if you arrive when it's pouring with rain, you've got bikes now that can pick up
Oh,
all the dirty water dripping on
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
floor.
yeah, yeah. Right. I
Yeah,
suppose
it's always a
it's not
problem with it. Not
right,
always
right.
practical.
That makes sense. Well, when I lived in Chicago, I remember uh there's a friend that I had that he worked in the same building that I was in, and
Mhm.
he rode his bike. Um, so much that my friends and I we first knew him as Bike Boy. That's how we referred to him before we met him. But anyway, so Bike
We had
Boy,
a name.
Bike Boy, yeah, yeah. So he was I mean, I've seen other people do this, but it's like they'd always take the like front tire off or front wheel off or whatever and carry it with them and like lock
Yeah.
their bike up wherever. And like, so is the whole point just that like, well, if you steal the bike, you don't have both tires? like for both wheels? Is it sort of like
Yeah,
just so that like, all right, have fun stealing it. You don't get the whole thing.
yeah. Well, the idea is if you think about it, anybody carrying a bike with no front wheel, theoretically, it has to be stolen because
That's true,
why would you
right?
carry a bike? So that was a
That's
good
true.
deterrent just to unclip that front wheel
Yeah,
because the
yeah,
back
yeah.
is connected to the chain
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
pedal
yeah. You can't
gears and
do
what
all
have
that.
you. So, and yeah, they used to have them in England, but I guess that would be if you thought about it, I guess you could buy kind of a waterproof bag to put the wheel
Hmm.
in and
Oh, right.
carry it over your
Okay.
shoulder. So if
Right.
you were going into the office, if it's big enough to store
Right.
behind your desk or something, you could at least store it in a
In a
waterproof
bag.
bag.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because it seems like
Uh,
such a pain to have to then carry a wheel around when you're like,
yeah.
outside.
Well, the good thing is, if that wheel fitted any other bike, you could pick anybody else's bike and put your own wheel in front.
Sure, yeah, just bring your own wheel to steal
Bring your own
bikes.
wheel. Yeah, and that has been done. That has been
Yeah.
done. People,
Oh my
people
gosh.
connect to it and think, oh, okay, that might be a different color, but you don't know if they've just got a spare wheel and they broke the
Sure.
first one. Or
Yeah,
is
I
that a
wouldn't
different?
question it. Yeah,
But
yeah.
you wouldn't. Yeah. Um, and when people do people steal things. They're not doing it to cause attention, so they're doing it like, well, it could be anybody doing that. Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the idea. If you're calm and collected and don't look shifty, nobody's
Right.
going to stop you and question you.
Yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that seems like a pain.
Yeah, it used to be, which is
Yeah.
then because I worked in town pretty much. I went to school on the other side of town and university was on the other part of the
Right.
town. I used to cycle everywhere. So for me, it wasn't that much of a problem. Um, then when I worked in the kitchens and restaurant and elsewhere, there was specific place. When I worked for one place, there was no parking facilities for bikes. And they just said, "Oh, you park it on the railings outside the department
Oh, right,
store
right. Hmm.
if you were there early." But I used to go where I used to live at work because it was literally all over the road.
Oh, right.
And I
Yeah.
said, "Oh, do you mind if I keep my bike here?" I still had the keys to the door and what have you. And
Right.
of course, in trade of it, I would still go and work there part time anyhow. So most of the week, I used
Nice.
to park my bike for free and it'd be either
Oh my
outside or
gosh.
inside, wherever it was. It was ironic because there was a one of the first little bars I worked in was called the
Yeah.
Scotch Bar,
Uh-huh.
which was just a little room, a bit bigger than your lounge. When I left, nobody else was running it, so I used to park my bike in there. I don't know if my bike ever drunk whiskey during the
Yeah,
day,
right.
but I
That's
get home
funny.
okay.
Right, right. So when you worked there, what did you do? You're like serving stuff?
I used to be the chef
Oh, the
there,
chef there. Okay.
and because there was one. Well, you had that bar which had little snacks, so that was
Hmm.
one. You had a bar restaurant, and then I had a restaurant upstairs as well. So we had best
Oh, okay.
other one? No, that was it. So yeah, I had basically
So
two
it's like,
restaurants that I would provide for.
okay.
One was a sit down restaurant, and the other was like a bar where you go up to the bar and
Right.
order your food,
The
I
food.
understand,
Okay.
chicken
That's
or a
cool.
quiche or something.
Yeah,
Um,
how was that working for that? Having like two different types of restaurants that you're making food for.
Easy.
Oh
Well,
yeah, okay.
yeah, I see. I was fortunate. So I used the first time I went to the place, I only went there to study alcoholic beverages for
Mm,
the final
hmm.
in my qualifications, and then I went to work for a small a la carte restaurant in town, mainly specialising in fish, and then quit that because it wasn't for me.
Hmm.
And I walked into where I used to work because obviously during the summer holidays they closed down the whole place for refurbishing. And I
Oh,
left, went
okay.
on vacation, came back, and I walked in there and he went, and the manager said, "Oh, hey, Trevor, where you been? I've been looking for you." I was like, "Well, you have my contact details." "Well, yeah, I was holding a job for you." I said, "What for?" "Well, I thought you were going to come back." "Well, you never gave me any inclination that you were interested in keeping me
That's so funny.
when everybody's being fired, given
Right.
redundancy and such because you refurbished the whole place for 3 months.
Right,
Why
right,
would
right.
I be coming back unless
Why
you
would you
said?"
think? Yeah, without you
Yeah,
telling me.
and yeah, and I only was only a part timer at that, because I was
Right,
still at
right.
college. Anyhow, he said,
Yeah,
so this was like the middle of November, the end of November. He says, so what are you doing now? I said, well, nothing actually. He says, well, would you like to come and help me for Christmas? I said, that'd be ideal. Yeah. I said,
yeah,
I've just finished one job. So, and he said, well, can you start tomorrow? I said, well, I thought you wanted me to start now. Well, finish my lunch first and then all right. So I just went to help the bars, and then Christmas came, New Year came. February comes, it starts getting quieter, and all the temporary staff are now leaving, and I'm
hmm
still there. He hasn't given me notice yet. And he said, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to find myself a proper job, proper chef job tonight.
yeah,
I don't want to work behind a bar all the time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And in March, my hometown has race week, where all
hmm
they take the races, the horses, and run them around the tracks over
Oh,
the
okay. Yeah,
pavement, somewhat. And I said, to tell you what, I'm I'm going to leave the week that weekend finishes. Why? Well, because first of all, I want to run the kitchen upstairs at night and during the day, for the whole week, prepare
right,
my own menu, do the cooking, everything, because I want to improve my chef skills and still I still got it. I've been serving behind the bar for the last 4 months. I want
right,
to make
right,
sure I still do this. But yeah, all right then. So he was happy because he
oh,
had
nice.
somebody who run a restaurant.
Right,
So that week when I finished the race week, he said, "Oh, can you just do the because it's like the middle of the month? Can you finish the end of
yeah,
the month?" I went, "Okay."
yeah,
So I'm then back in the thing there, and I'm leaving on Friday. And I think it's like Wednesday,
yeah.
and the manager goes round to ask the woman who used to run the kitchen. He says, "Do you think Trevor would be interested in taking the chef job downstairs because so and so's handed in their notice?" I said, "I don't know. I know he wants to go off and get a proper chef job."
Right, right.
So I asked him, I said, well, what's it entail? He says, you have full automation. You'll have both bars, restaurant to run, and you plan the menu, you do the whole thing. Are you interested?
Yeah,
Do I have any staff? Blah blah blah. All the other questions.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
made it. I said, okay, let me think about it, and I'll say I'm back in tomorrow. I'll let you know.
Mhm.
And I thought, oh yeah, if he wants me, I'm going to make him wait for this. So I
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
I made
that's
him
good. That's smart.
came in the next day and he said, so I said, well, providing if I'm getting this amount of pay and I have full automation for that and I do that, yes, I'll take it
Yeah.
on.
hmm
And I did.
Nice.
And then because I was that, I would then start because I knew the whole place by that time.
Right.
I then teaching the assistant managers how to run the branch. So then I was made assistant manager also
Okay,
because I was
nice.
an assistant manager of the bars and the cellar and the restaurants that
Right.
on my side of the building. So then I had to teach the other assistant managers to do the same thing. It's a bit off, isn't it? I'm teaching them to do this. So I got that position. And they took the other side. And then
Nice.
I left to get a manager, but I'm only like 25 at the time.
Oh, wow.
And realized trying to get a manager's job at 25, you're too young. But
Oh,
I'd
okay.
because I'd already done anything for like from the age of 20 onwards. So I'd done five
Right.
years of, and I didn't realize that as assistant manager, you get called by corporate to go off to other branches and training and all these other things.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I walked in one day, and said, "Oh, yes, I've seen your name. You never turned up for any of the training. Why is that?" I said, "What training?"
Yeah.
Well, being assistant manager, you get to be the training, and we do that, an introduction to other branches. Would you like to work at other branches? I said, what? You mean like the other one up the road? But no, other towns as well. Said, I never knew that was an option. Didn't your manager
Right.
tell you this? No.
No. So it
So
was
that's
like
what I said.
so it was a chain. You guys had there was a corporate
Mhm.
like headquarters. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Um, and that was like, well, in that case, if I can't get on to that to be the manager, I'm going to leave and be a manager elsewhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my
So I
gosh.
go from what they call, you may have heard of Whitbread. and I'm trying to think. They used to be a
Hmm.
Grand Metropolitan. I think they were international.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They had pubs and restaurants all over the country, and I think over the world. So
Hmm.
that it was a big corporation. And I saw there was a job opening at the department store over the road because we lived in one
Oh,
street,
right.
and literally there's the courthouse with all the railings for everybody to put that, and then you have this long department store,
Hmm.
which is a branch of Harrods.
Oh, that's cool.
And often I used to go through with my jacket on and all the rest of it and get stopped in the middle of what is called Cavendish House. Oh, excuse me, where can you find so and so? Oh, he's in department blah 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 and blah blah blah. It's like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
knew this because I was in and out all the time. People
Right.
thought I worked there.
That's
And
great.
the HR manager used to come into our branch for
Oh,
lunch.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
So then I applied for it. Said, "Oh, I know. Oh, right, yes, okay." So of course, in my lunch hour, occasionally I'd pop back in and I'd bump
Yeah.
in there. He said, "I don't mind you helping out if there. This is your lunch, but you do what you want with it. But can you just take our name badge off so people don't get confused about identity?" Like, good point. Yeah, good point.
That's
All
so
right,
funny.
in the
Yeah,
pocket,
yeah, yeah.
Um, and that's where I realized that the manager was there. She was going to stay there until she retired. She was in her
Right.
50s and she was still going to go on and on.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
looked around, I'm never going to get this manager role because I'm her
Right.
assistant.
Right.
How do I get out of this environment to do something different?
Right. Right.
And trying to get, so I was what, mid 28 at that point, I think. Like, I still can't get a manager role because most of them don't come up until you're 35
Oh, really?
onward.
Okay. Yeah,
I
yeah.
said I've got on average 2, 3, 7 years before I can get the manager role.
Right.
I was very fortunate. I learned so much so quickly, so young. I
Hmm.
had all the experience. I just didn't have the age to go with it.
Right. Right.
And I went, you know what, I'm going to go and do bookkeeping. So I handed in my notice. The manager had gone on vacation for 2 or 3 weeks or whatever.
Hmm.
I run the whole thing, so I knew I could do the thing. I went, this is pointless. She's going to come back and I'm going to have less to do. I was sending people off on extended tea breaks because they weren't doing the job properly, show them how to do it. And remember the
Yeah,
lady
yeah,
on the
yeah.
tip, why are you cleaning out the hot plate or whatever? I says, because it's filthy. Well, that's where you get your staff to do it. I says, yes, I will when they know what standard to clean it to. Oh, you're smart. Yeah. Don't do as I say, do as I do. I went, exactly. This is
Right.
how it should be, not what you
That's
think it
great.
is.
Right.
She's
Right.
driven it. I'm sure of that. I went, I hope so. And then I handed in my notice, said, "Oh, by the way, I'm leaving. Tell the manager, sorry, but I found an opportunity." Um, and that's what I ended up by doing. I thought I'd just go to night school because I'm just bored out of my head.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I was sending my extended tea breaks because when you go to Cavendish House, it's all calm, relaxed, and what have you. But you got to remember that was one restaurant which also did afternoon teas and
Right.
coffees.
Right.
The pace was like 30% of what I was used to.
Oh, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I was running 2 bars, a restaurant, and a cellar.
Hmm.
I think, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
I was bored out of my head. I really was. I just couldn't
Yeah.
hack the lack of work. And they
Right.
were saying,
Right.
"Oh, it's really busy. We noticed." I said, and the reason it picked up because a lot of the clientele that I used to serve next door realized
Yeah.
I'd moved. They came
And
with
they
me,
started coming over. Oh, that's cute.
which was very cute and nice,
Yeah, yeah.
which
That
helped
is
a
nice.
bit. But I started there again around the Christmas time and New
Mm,
Year. So, of course, New Year sales and Christmas always a great time to be busy. Then
right.
March and April comes,
And that's
and
when
then
it
it
slows.
dies off. It was like, is this what it's like normally? Ah, yeah, we're back to normal pace now. This is normal?
Yeah, you're like, I don't like
Oh,
normal.
I don't like normal. I couldn't cope with normal.
Yeah.
So I went off to study. And then I got into the transportation as ticket audit and
Mm.
revenue and all the rest. Well, ticket audit to start with, and
Ticket
then
auditing?
that would have ticket audit. Yes,
Oh, okay.
auditing the ticket sales
Oh,
for
okay.
either the local buses or the let's say the Greyhound buses. and all
Yeah,
those
yeah.
sort of things. Um, and then that was coming up to what, the end of the 90s, and computers start coming in. And I
Oh,
had a
yeah.
little experience with computers from school and at
Hmm.
the first restaurant we worked at. Went, oh, okay, I know that. I suppose opportunity to improve my computer skills then.
Yeah.
And then I moved into analysis and revenue and all those sort of things. And I stayed there for like 7 years and I worked my way through again to
Right.
the department manager of the revenue department, but never
Hmm.
had the title. And I realized one day that I went off to a meeting, which was an hour and a half drive away, to
Yeah.
meet the CEO or the general manager of the what used to be called was it Midland Red, which
Hmm.
is um like going from Florida,
Hmm.
from Orlando, and now I'm going to talk to the county where St. Pete's and Tampa is. So he used to run
Okay.
all that local area. So I'm now
Right.
so I drive out from Orlando to Tampa,
Right.
and I used to cover the whole of the county, so the whole of the state.
Oh,
And
wow.
I'm out there with the managing director of that bus company there, and I'm talking to the local authority or the local government there about how much money we've been paid and what we should charge them and how much they owe us as opposed to how much we owe them.
Right.
And we have lunch with the guy and sit in his office, and I went, hang on a minute, I think actually this. So we're talking about I think like £180,000
Hmm.
that we were going to have to pay back.
Right.
We'd been overpaid, which might not sound a lot today, but
But yeah, it's business wise. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a lot. Yeah.
for a whole year or whatever, it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
80,000 pounds a month, 5,000
Right. Right.
pound thing.
Yeah.
Um, and I said, actually, I got a question here and a doubt because I don't think this is actually right because I don't think. He said, well, that makes sense. Well, can you talk to the government, the local people? I said, sure. So I get there and I went, okay, I'm not going to question about your numbers because I think that these numbers here are better than what you've got. When did you last do this and how did you do it?
Oh, yeah.
And they sit there and they went, yeah, you're right. Our average weighting is a little out of date. Um, so if we asked you to run all these extra reports, how long would it take you to do to prove it? I said,
Right.
well, I've got 3 months here. Probably going to take me another at least 3 months to do the whole year with all plus the regular reporting. Okay, let's come to an agreement because we can't wait that long. We need to draw a line under it.
Right.
If you're happy that you earn the money and you can prove you earn the money, you keep the money. Of course, my
Right.
managing director is like, yeah, oh, well done, Trevor. Thank you very
Yeah. No
much.
kidding. Right.
Yeah. Anyhow, I had borrowed my accountant's manager's car, my boss, from the
Hmm.
home office. I get back about 6:30 in the evening, greeted with, where the hell have you been? You should have been back an hour ago. I said, traffic, and I got delayed with the meeting and what have you. Oh,
Yeah.
right. I said, oh, by the way, that £180,000 we got to pay back, you don't have to. I've resolved it. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Uh, yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay.
That is
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Right.
And the times I would analyze and go and find the right things. This is ridiculous. I'm going around all the things of which the manager should be doing,
Right.
but
Right.
they haven't taken the time to get into the numbers and find out the real facts. They're letting the clerk do
Right.
this.
Right. Right.
I need to move on and find a proper job. Again, I'm always going for a proper job.
Yeah. Right.
So I did. That's when I then started. Now I'm good with computers. I then went to
Right.
financial services as compliance officer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and IT
Uh,
manager. So you see where I've gone now.
yeah. Yeah.
Increased my revenue and position in the title. And ironically, remember the
Hmm.
two guys that I spoke to the local authority who said,
Yeah.
Trevor, yes, you can keep the money.
Yeah.
They were then trying to ask me to go and work from them to do
Oh.
their data stuff. The only problem was it's like driving from Orlando to data, no, there's Orlando to Tampa every day.
Oh. Yeah. That's not.
of which, by the time I get to the suburbs of Tampa, you've got local free transport. So I have to park the car up somewhere and then get onto the local transport or
Oh
the
gosh.
train to get me into the office,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
of which then made it like an hour and a half drive. And
Right.
as I was a carer for my disabled mum,
Yeah.
the
That's not
distance
gonna
of
work.
driving wasn't so bad, but if I miss one connection, that an hour could turn
Hmm.
into 2 hours. And being
Right.
2 hours away potentially for a medical emergency,
Right, right.
it's just too
Yeah,
much.
that's
And the
not
car
gonna work.
was also over 110,000 miles on the clock. It was
Right,
eight,
right.
it was 7 or 8 years old, but it was still getting to the point where how many more miles can I keep plowing onto this car?
Hmm.
Because I haven't earned enough to upgrade the car to a better one.
Right. Right, right.
Um, so I refused that, and a couple of years after, I then got into database marketing, which is where I
Hmm.
kind of base everything from now,
Yeah.
and then managed to rechange the car because I'd now in like 2 years had almost like tripled my income
Oh wow. Well, there you go.
because I was actually getting paid a salary worth the position in which the
Right.
the cashier was saying, "You're going to go far, aren't you?" And I said, "I hope."
I hope so. That's funny. Well, I'm afraid I have to go. Piper
Yes.
has been gone for a week. She was up in Yellowstone
Mm.
in Wyoming with her
Yes.
dad and stepmom. Yeah, so she came back. I just got her back this afternoon, but she came back on late Wednesday night. They have pictures close to a moose. She was apparently obsessed with chipmunks. They saw bison. They saw all kinds of things.
Okay, when they sell bison, does that mean like they sell bison steaks and she's into eating
Oh,
them, or it's just
sorry.
cute, ugly toys?
Sorry. She saw with her eyes. She saw them. She did, yeah. But you can buy bison meat.
Well,
I've been to
that's what I mean.
farmers
It's like,
markets where you can buy bison meat.
yeah. Well, when you said like she wants to buy or something, it's like, oh, did she buy bison meat? Because I wouldn't thought she'd
Yeah,
bring home a baby bison to play with.
that would be cute.
Mm,
Well, a stuffed
steak
animal
for the
bison.
year. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
yeah. It's
so
like I'm
you want
sure.
free steak for the year?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's funny. Well, have a lovely weekend, and I guess I'll see you in
Thank you
a
very
couple
much. Likewise.
weeks. Yeah,
Yes,
because
not
not
next
next
week.
week.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
yeah. So happy working next week. Just think of me
Thank
being
you.
here and not having my own little tea party all by
I
myself.
know.
Working.
I know.
Yeah,
Happy
I'll send you
working.
with
Okay.
a tea and say, look what I'm doing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I'll say, here, I'm in the office. Cool.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I should put this background on and say, I'm here with my tea, waiting,
Right, right.
doing my own thing, all by myself, alone and cold.
That's right. That's funny.
All
Well,
right. Have a good
okay.
weekend.